industry, which aims to give you an overview on the labor market trends, as well as on the training offer available in Luxembourg in the digital field. Today we have 5 speakers with us. Inès Baer from ADEM, who will speak about the labor market trends and analytics. And then we have 4 speakers from 4 major organizations that are delivering training courses in Luxembourg in the digital field and addressed to the manufacturing industry. First, we will have Christian Wagner, who is going to tell us a little bit about the training offer available from the House of Training. Then we will have Dominique Koch, which will give you an overview about the trainings offered by the Luxembourg House of Cybersecurity. Koen Klustermans, who will give you an insight about the trainings offered by the Digital Learning Hub. And finally, here next to me, my colleague Jacqueline Messit, who will speak about the trainings offered by our center, the University of Luxembourg Competence Center. We will have 2 Q&A sessions. I forgot, well, but now you can see them. You can also see them there. But there will be 2 Q&A sessions, one after Inès Baer presentation and another one at the very end of the webinar. However, I recommend you not to wait until the end of the presentations to ask your questions. So use the chat during the presentations. You can ask your questions, and then we will try to address them all during the Q&A sessions. So with no further ado, let's start the webinar. I will give the floor to Inès Baer from ADEM. Inès?
Yes. Hello, everyone. Can you hear me well?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So let me share my slides. If someone could just confirm that you see them. Not yet. Are you able to see the slides?
I can see the slides.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Hello, my name is Inès Baer. I'm responsible for data, statistics and labor market studies at the Employment Agency. The goal of today's presentation is to give a bit of context for the following speakers, so to give you insights on the situation and the trends that we see in the labor market in the manufacturing industry, focusing on tech jobs and digital skills. So we can make a link afterwards with the trainings that are provided by the different institutions. I really make a focus on the manufacturing industry because that's the focus of the LDIH. And here we see the job postings that we have been reported to as ADEM by employers from the manufacturing industry. We see overall that there's a growth trend when we look from 2015-16 until now. It's not as strong as we see in some other sectors, but still there's an overall growth trend. And if we look at the types of occupations that are most searched for by employers in the manufacturing industry, we have here a list where we see on the first place we have the opération manuelle. So these are really production floor workers. This is more manual work. We have seen a bit of a decline of that occupation in the recent years, but it's still, if we look at the numbers of the past 4 years, so 2019 to 2022, it's still the #1 job that this sector is looking for. Then we have on second position engineers, focusing more on research development, product innovation. Third place are machine operators, and then again engineers, but this time more focused on production. And we have some occupations that are more typical for the food industry, like bakeries, for example, because they also fall under the manufacturing industry, according to the NAS classification. And then a bit more towards the bottom, I think it's number 13, we have IT developers. So that's the first basically tech job that we see in this list, with 100 jobs that were reported to ADEM over those 4 years. So if we look only now at tech jobs within the manufacturing industry, as I said, we have IT developers as a group that's on the first place with 100 positions. And then we see other type of tech occupations. Conseil et maîtrise d'ouvrage, here we would have also more specialists focusing on hardware, cloud computing, security, for example. On the third place, we have an occupation that's very specific to industry. So that's all about automation, robotics in industry. And then you can see other occupations like IT, system administration, and so on. Because these overall groupings are sometimes a bit difficult to make tangible, we can also go one level deeper on the job hierarchy. So here we see then, if we go a level deeper, on the first place, we see software engineers, followed by generic IT developers, then robotics technicians, IT administrators, IT consultants, business analysts. So you can see a bit the type of occupation that the manufacturing industry is looking for. We also have data analysts, big data analysts, auditors for IT systems, so some cybersecurity roles. So just to show that there's really a big diversity in the type of tech occupations that the manufacturing industry is looking for. But also the volumes in this sector are still a bit more niche. If we compare them, for example, to the overall economy in Luxembourg, in 2022 alone, we had 2,500 postings for IT developers only declared to ADEM. And if we take all tech occupations overall declared by all sectors, we have more than 5,000 job postings. So just to put that a bit in relation, that here we are talking about a smaller part of the economy, but of course those tech occupations, there's a lot more opportunities if we look at all the sectors. So I want to show a bit also the trends. Now we looked at the more static situation, but if we look at the evolution of tech jobs that the manufacturing industry has looked for, we can see that there's a clear growth, with the exception of the year 2020, which was a bit particular. But other than that, from 2016 to 22, the occupations have more than doubled, and we expect that the growth will still continue also this year, based on what we have seen until now. And where was this growth the strongest? So we have again our job categories that we have earlier. So the category where the growth was the strongest was the Conseil et maîtrise d'ouvrage. So there we have all the really specialists, like I said, hardware, cybersecurity, also specific software engineers. And then on the second category, we have IT developers, where we also have a strong growth in terms of volumes. If we only look at percentage, so not so much the volume, but the percentage, the third category stands out, which is really industry automation, so robotics jobs. We had in 2016-17, we had one job posting on average, and 2021-2022, we had 8 on average per year. So this is in terms of percentage, the highest growth. So we looked at the situation, the overall demand, and also the trends. Next, I want to talk a bit about the pénurie, so the shortage level, when we compare the demand of the job market and the available candidates. And this is, of course, as ADEM, something that's very important for us to monitor. So if we look now across all sectors, because the shortage levels, we can only measure them over the whole economy by job and not by sector. So we see that there's a big gap between the demand of the market and the candidates that are available when it comes to those tech jobs. And with tech jobs here, I also mean IT developers, IT engineers, data analysts, web designers, so all of those types of profiles that we have already covered now. In 2022 alone, we had 4,000 more job offers than we had candidates, job seekers registered with ADEM and that were, let's say, available or qualified for those occupations. So that's quite a big gap, 4,000 over only 1 year. And you can see that the gap is also increasing in general. And to put that a bit into relation compared to other types of occupations, I sorted here the big occupation groups by let's say, the shortage gap. And we have IT jobs that are the #1 category. So it's the types of job that have the strongest shortage level. And that really comes out of our data, followed by accounting and financial analysis jobs. Then we have second d'oeuvre, which is more craft work in construction, banking jobs, finance, law, and so on. So you can see a bit which type of jobs have the strongest shortage level, and IT jobs are at the very, very first place. Then I want to show a bit more the, let's say, the requirements and the characteristics of the tech jobs within manufacturing industry again. So let's look first at the experience, the professional experience that the employers in the manufacturing industry require for those tech jobs. We can see that about 24% of the job vacancies don't require explicitly the experience for those tech jobs, but 76% they do require an experience. In most cases, a short experience, so 1 to 4 years is often sufficient. In general, there's only about 1/4 of the job vacancies where a longer experience of 5 years or more is required. Then looking at diplomas, so here we have 19% of the job vacancies that don't specify any diploma that they require. Doesn't necessarily mean that they don't want a diploma, but maybe they just don't put it explicitly in the job vacancy. Then we have a small share of job offers that ask BAC, so secondary school diploma or BTS. But the vast share is really for they require university diploma, so bachelor, master, or doctorate. And the bachelor is still the diploma that is the most often required for tech jobs within the manufacturing industry. Languages are also always interesting to look at. So tech jobs within the manufacturing industry, we can look at requirements for Luxembourgish, French, German, and English language. And we make a distinction between the 3 levels of the maîtrise of the language. So A being very elementary and C being very advanced. And there we see Luxembourgish is only mandatory in like 3% of the job vacancies. In most cases, Luxembourg is not very important. French, on the other hand, it's mandatory in about 40% of the vacancies. And in a lot of the cases, it's also the level C, so the advanced level that is required. German also, 15% of the vacancies that have it as mandatory. And English is the most important language for tech jobs within the manufacturing industry. So it's 92% of job vacancies that require an English level. Looking a bit at competency skills more generally, so we're interested, of course, in what type of skills employers are looking for in this area. And to get some information on that, we have a text mining model. So it's a natural language processing algorithm that scans through the descriptions of the job vacancies and identifies the type of skills that are mentioned. So it's not perfect. I always need to say that there's still room for improvement in this, but it's interesting to get some first data. And here we see, for tech jobs, the #1 vacancy that comes out is adapt to change. So being flexible, being adaptable, followed by teamwork, problem solving, communication. And then we also see some more general, more digital skills, like from very basic skills, like using a computer, but also a bit lower, we have computer programming, for example. And this is still a bit more difficult to identify with our algorithms, so we are working on that. But if I only take the digital skills, for example, that we see in the job vacancies, and now I look at the manufacturing industry as a whole. So not only tech jobs, but all jobs within the manufacturing industry, we can see that 63% of those jobs mention that the person needs to be able to use a computer. And I think this is already quite a lot if you look at that the manufacturing industry still recruits a lot of floor production workers, but even in that case, basic digital skills also become more and more important. We have some also very generic digital skills like Microsoft Office, spreadsheets, and so on. And if we go a bit lower, we see skills like database, computer programming, analytics that come up, and also very specific industry digital skills like CNC, so it's for machine operation, AutoCAD, so this drawing softwares. So this helps us to see a bit what kind of skills that the manufacturing industry is looking for. And we also do trends analysis for this. It's a bit difficult to look only at manufacturing industry because the volumes are often not enough to really see specific trends. But if we look at all the sectors, for example, all the jobs, we can see there's definitely in growth in demand for digital skills. Both very basic digital skills like use a computer. It was asked in 24% of the job vacancies in 2015 and already in 31% in 2021. But the same trend we have in more advanced digital skills like analyzing data, database management, and software development, for example. We also have a clear growth. And then we have a growth in the skills that are not digital skills, but that, in my opinion, are very closely connected to digital skills, like being creative, developing solutions, solving problems. So, of course, these are also core skills for tech jobs. With that, I end my presentation. It's really to give a bit of a contextual overview of the labor market. I think we have time for questions, But just in case, here are also my contact details. If you have other questions at a later stage, please don't hesitate to get in touch. And I'll sharing my screen and come back so I can see.
Thank you very much, Inés, for your presentation. So far, we have not yet received any question. So there are people thanking you for the presentation. I don't know, this is the moment. So concerning Inés' presentation, if you have any question, this is the moment to ask. Just write it on the chat. Otherwise, we will go to the second part of the presentations, which is a little bit training offer. I see that there is here a question. Wait. Please share your contact details again, if you don't mind. It's not really a question, it's more a request.
I'll share it in. No problem.
Yeah,
I'll just put it in the chat.
I'm checking the messages. I think that overall it was very clear and people are very happy, and there are not really questions. Well, there are. Wait just a second. So I will activate the Q&A, okay? Just give me a second. Okay, Inés, there you go. I will, if there are other questions, I will put them on and I'll let you reply to them, okay?
It's an interesting question and it's a bit difficult to measure, but what I looked at, for example, is I talked earlier about the shortage level of tech jobs. And we can also do a bit of a comparison if the shortage level of IT jobs is stronger in industry or stronger, for example, in financial services or public sector. We see that there are strong shortage levels overall, but in industry, it was even, the ratio was even a bit stronger. So that might give an indication that for tech profiles, tech IT candidates, for example, they might prefer still other sectors than industry. And that explains why the shortage is even stronger in that sector compared to other sectors. So that's a beginning of an answer to your question, but of course it's much more complex than that. I see a second question about what do we do to help, let's say, close the gap. So as ADEM, our main mission is, of course, towards job seekers and employers that hire job seekers. So we do offer trainings to job seekers. We have trainings on basic digital skills, but we also have a lot of and more advanced digital skills trainings. We have trainings on for junior developers, Java developers, Python developers, data analysts, IT project management, IT support. So these are all specific training that ADEM offers for free to job seekers in partnership always with our training partners. So we have partnerships with Digital Learning Hub, with the House of Training, with the Competence Center of the university. And so that is one answer to helping to close the gap. And we have hundreds of candidates that go through these trainings every year. And that have very good also employment outcomes, but it's not enough, of course, I mentioned before, I spoke for the whole economy, the gap was a few thousand candidates. So we also believe in the importance of talent attraction, so attracting candidates from foreign markets, and that's also something that ADEM can help with. So last year, for example, we organized a few visits to international job fairs together with employers. So employers could join us to convince, or let's say to talk about Luxembourg as a workplace for IT jobs. And also we have worked now on a legislation that would make it easier to hire third country nationals, so citizens outside of the European Union, for jobs where we have a strong shortage, like IT jobs, for example. So these are some of the things that we do to close the skills gap, but there's still a lot more to be done, and I think we cannot do that alone. Everyone needs to work on that. Skills in continuous improvement, so Six Sigma and Clean. I don't remember seeing those skills coming out of our algorithm, but I'm happy to have a closer look. From what I've seen, it's still, at least in the job vacancies, it's still very niche. We don't see that a lot, but we can also refine our model to maybe better detect those skills. But at least there doesn't seem to be a huge volume of demand for Six Sigma and lean management.
Okay, Inés, thank you very much. That's it. That were the questions that we had for you. So thank you very much. We will now speak a little bit about the training offer available in Luxembourg. So we will start with Christian Wagner from House of Training. Christian, you can now activate your micro and your camera.
Yes, hello. Thank you very much, Inès, for the very interesting presentation. My name is Christian Wagner from House of Training, head of manufacturing and services. And on my side is Frederick Gies, business development manager at the House of Training. We did the presentation in English. I will later on switch also in French. So if needed, I can switch in English or French. So we only will do a short presentation of House of Training, who we are, what we do, and then we do a focus on the industry, which trainings we offer in industry. So we can also perhaps the question which was asked before, we can give an answer to it. So House of Training, alors je continue en français et si nécessaire après je peux toujours répondre en langue anglaise. C'est vraiment l'organisme de référence, l'organisme de formation de référence pour les entreprises au Luxembourg, créé en 2015 sur l'initiative de la Chambre de commerce et la BBL. Notre mission est vraiment de proposer une offre de formation professionnelle continue adaptée aux besoins du marché et de l'économie luxembourgeoise. Quelques chiffres clés. On est une équipe multilingue et pluridisciplinaire d'une 50aine de personnes. On travaille avec un réseau très étoffé de formateurs et experts, au-dessus de 800 formateurs et experts, ce qui nous permet vraiment d'offrir beaucoup d'expertise dans notre offre de formation. On a des formations catalogue, au-dessus de 1200 formations catalogue, tout en sachant que toutes nos formations peuvent être customisées, c'est-à-dire créées sur mesure en fonction des besoins des clients. Voilà, comme déjà évoqué tantôt, on travaille avec un réseau étoffé de partenaires experts et en étroite collaboration avec nos clients pour vraiment offrir des formations à la demande du marché. Peut-être encore brièvement dire que d'un côté, on a les sector specific skills et aussi les cross-sector skills. Dans les secteurs specific skills, on propose toutes les formations dans le domaine du bancaire et finance et aussi dans le domaine manufacturing services. C'est mon équipe qui gère les formations dans le manufacturing services, qui inclut les formations dans le commerce, dans l'ORECA, dans le transport logistique et aussi, entre autres, industries. Dans les cross-sectorial skills, vous trouvez vraiment les formations droit, fiscalité, marketing, IT. Et comme j'ai déjà évoqué, on a une offre très, très étoffée au niveau de notre catalogue, mais toutes les formations peuvent être créées sur mesure suivant les besoins de nos clients. On attache aussi une attention particulière à intégrer la composante et la transition digitale et écologique dans notre offre de formation. Voilà, ça c'est un peu une présentation générale de la House of Training. Au niveau de l'industrie, on travaille très étroitement avec la FEDIL, qui est notre partenaire, et on profite des synergies communes afin de créer une offre de formation qui répond aux besoins du marché et pour aussi assurer la compétitivité de l'industrie au Luxembourg actuellement, mais aussi dans le futur. On a des programmes diplômants, certifiants et une multitude de formations catalogue et customisé. On a 4 domaines de prédilection dans le domaine de l'industrie où on propose des formations. Ça, c'est vraiment tout ce qui tourne autour de l'organisation, des techniques industrielles, de l'industrie 4.0 et aussi de l'automation. Concernant l'organisation, vous trouvez des formations autour de l'efficacité opérationnelle, de l'optimisation des processus, notamment par rapport à la question qui a été demandée tantôt, Yellow Belt, Green Belt, Black Belt, et par rapport oui, Six Sigma, voilà, tout à fait. Et puis, au niveau de la technique industrielle, vous trouvez toutes les formations autour des compétences techniques, par exemple, techniques de production, de maintenance, entre autres aussi des formations Kanban. Voilà. Et au niveau de l'industrie 4.0, vous trouvez les formations autour de la transformation numérique. Vous y trouvez par exemple des formations pour l'IoT, Internet of Things, de la cybersecurity. Voilà, et encore en dernier, l'automation. Là, vous trouvez des formations au niveau des automatisations industrielles en robotique et en contrôle des process, de la programmation des robots. Là, on travaille par exemple beaucoup avec Siemens aussi. Je vais y revenir en détail après. Voilà, ça, c'est nos quatre grands piliers au niveau de la formation, au niveau de l'industrie. On travaille avec des partenaires de renom, l'automation, on travaille beaucoup avec Siemens. Au niveau de la grande région, on travaille beaucoup avec TÜV Nord, Technifutur, UIMM, mais on travaille aussi avec des acteurs locaux, LC Academy et Aforest. Tous ces partenariats nous permettent aussi d'avoir une offre étoffée, proche du terrain, proche des demandes du marché. Voilà. Je ne sais pas si tu veux encore rajouter quelque chose, Fred.
Non, tu as très bien parlé. Donc, en complément, bien évidemment que les digital skills basic ou avancés sont également disponibles via notre offre cross-sectorielle. On a parlé tout à l'heure de Microsoft ou Excel. Bien évidemment que ça touche d'autres industries que l'industrie manufacturière. Et donc, par conséquent, on a des formations relativement génériques, mais qui sont transposables à tout secteur.
Peut-être encore une précision importante. La majorité des demandes qu'on a au niveau de l'industrie, c'est des demandes sur mesure. On peut actuellement dire que ça se situe entre 60 et 70% de nos formations qu'on propose. C'est vraiment des clients qui viennent faire nous pour des offres sur mesure. Le reste représente les offres catalogues. Et par rapport à la question qui a été posée avant des formations Six Sigma, Green Belt, Yellow Belt, on a régulièrement des demandes sur mesure pour ces formations qu'on propose d'ailleurs aussi dans notre catalogue. Voilà, je ne sais pas si vous avez encore d'autres, si vous avez des questions, n'hésitez pas à nous les poser.
Okay, thank you very much, Christian. We will now pass directly to Dominique Koch from the Luxembourg House of Cybersecurity that will present their training offer. And if there are questions then at the very end of all the 4 presentations for the training catalog, then we will come back to that. Okay, so Dominique, you can now activate your camera and your micro.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Christian and Frederic, for your presentation. My name is Dominique Koge from the Luxembourg House of Cybersecurity. The Luxembourg House of Cybersecurity has been created more than a decade now by the Ministry of Economy. We focus or we aim to foster the cybersecurity ecosystem in Luxembourg by providing service around innovation and competence, capacity building, and also supporting industry with responding to their incidents. Today, the Luxembourg House of Cybersecurity has 2 centers. The NC3, which is the National Cybersecurity Competence Center, where we focus on capacity building, particularly on governance, risk management. And we do have the CERC, which is the Computer Incident Response Center, where they support industry, private industry with their cybersecurity incidents. And they do develop tools to support them as well, a platform where this industry can share incidents among themselves, globally, tools that have been used by globally around the world. Today, I'm going to present some of the training that these 2 centers offer today at the Luxembourg House of Cybersecurity. We have, at NC3, we have 3 main training which focus on cybersecurity for everyone, where we do conduct awareness on cybersecurity risk, threats, best practices. And we do have a training also on train the trainer, where we call the cybersecurity champions in industry, in companies, where we train people in industry to be a champions in cybersecurity, to train the staff around cybersecurity best practice and risk. And also we have a training, a Monarch, which is a tool that we develop here at Luxembourg House of Cybersecurity, which is a risk management tool to support industry to conduct their cybersecurity risks. And we do have a 4th training, which is an exercise, which is a Room 42, which is a cybersecurity simulator, where we receive people in-house and we do simulate various scenarios of cybersecurity incident, and you see how they respond. To test their risk management procedure that they've developed inside their companies. On the other side, we have the SEP, who focus on more technical stuff, focus on incident response, when provide training on incident response to train people how to first detect cybersecurity incidents, how to respond, following best practice. And they do have technical training on how to do penetration testing, for example, how to do malware reverse engineering. And also their platform that they've developed is the MIX platform, which is malware information sharing platform. So they do provide training on how to deploy the platform, how to use the platform as well. So because of time, I'm going to focus on the 2 training from each 2 center. So the trainer, as I explained, is to train champions around cybersecurity in companies and to provide them with the expertise that we have and the tools to conduct cybersecurity awareness training in companies. So we do train them how to prepare content on cybersecurity training. We do share some content that we've already developed so that they can tailor those content to their environment and their needs in the companies. We do also train them how to conduct research to get the accurate information, provide examples during the trainings, and how to handle public, how to handle questions from different kind of public, and how to respond to these questions. So basically how to train or how to conduct cybersecurity training. And also, as I said, our Monarch, which is a tool that we develop here at Luxembourg House of Cybersecurity. And so we do provide 3 trainings during the year where we train the public on how to conduct cybersecurity risk management using our tools. What is first risk management in terms of cybersecurity? As you can see across all the industry now, cybersecurity is a point that everybody needs to address. And as a cybersecurity operation, one of the key things is how you manage your risk. So one of our target this training is to educate IT professionals how to conduct cybersecurity risk, and provide them the tools and the knowledge to use our tools to define risk, to provide treatment to the risk, and to continuously monitor those risks. Those are some of the topics that we tackle during these trainings. And on the Computer Incident Response Center, they have the introduction to incident response, as explained, where they focus on how to manage cybersecurity incidents, providing them guidance, how to detect incidents, how to prioritize in case you have major incident with several incidents at the same time. How do you prioritize? And how do you maintain a chain of custody when there's an incident, cybersecurity incident for some time finishes in court, or to provide evidence to defend your case. So we do provide all this best practice during this training. And the last but not the least is the MIS platform, which is the malware information sharing platform, to be developed by the circle here in Luxembourg. So the idea is to teach cyber security professionals or IT professionals how to deploy or use the tool, what are the various features of the tools, and what are the advantages of the tools. Because through the platform, what we do is a global platform where people can share the incident that they occur in their industry or in their company, so that the other company can be aware and prepared. So how to use this tool and how to take best advantage of the tool. So these are some of the training that we have today. I encourage you to go to our site. So we do have more training as well. We do provide some specific training partnerships of some of our partners, for example, the DLH, where we do provide training on security of network, secure introduction to network security. We do provide training there as well on how to manage backups. So we have training per semester. So I encourage you to even go to the DLS center, where we do provide some specific training there as well. And if you have any questions, do not hesitate to contact us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dominique, for this great presentation. We will now give the floor to Koen Kloostermans, that will give a brief overview about the training offer from the Digital Learning Hub, which is a quite recent organization in Luxembourg. So, Koen, the floor is yours. Luxembourg, no.
And yes, now there is also voice. Good afternoon. Thank you, Dominique, for your presentation of the House of Cybersecurity, and also for thank you, Digital Innovation Hub, for the opportunity to present the Digital Learning Hub. I'm Koen Kloostermans, and I am a course manager here in the Digital Learning Hub. It is a And I'm looking if this present. Okay, it should be now. It's a black slide. This is an overview of how the Digital Learning Hub is inserted within the Ministry of Education, and it's within the Service de la Formation Professionnelle, and there, among other vocational education and training, we are focused on digital skills. We are a team of 22 people from various backgrounds to ensure also that the content and the trainings are coming from people who have also the expertise. The situation is already really nicely presented by Inès. So there is a digital skills gap challenge here in Luxembourg, also in the Grand Région, like this number over 5,000 from 2022 vacancies in the area of IT and related jobs. So this is a big number. And so our mission is to contribute to reducing this digital skills gap here in Luxembourg. We also have some processes to select trainings. Among we are now building is the ESCO taxonomy, which is the European multilingual classification of skills, competences, and occupations. So that's where we try to focus our trainings on. I'm not going to go too much in details. We had already really nice statistics of Inès. We do also talk, and we did already talk with more than 150 companies and organizations to understand also their needs and try to fill the digital skills gap. And we have also a special mission because, as you heard before, House of Trainings, House of Cybersecurity, there are a lot of trainings already on the market. We do not want to give the same topics again. No, we are in a mission of the Ministry of Education to go for brief and short trainings which are hands-on. And these courses are have no degrees. It is a certification of participation, with the advantage that we can be agile, meaning if there is a need, we can very quickly create a course on demand, you could say. And we are a hub, so we also give courses in English because we want to emphasize the international learning, the exchange of culture. And it's a Ministry of Education, so it's a very affordable offer, because we also want to offer these digital skills to people who are unemployed, people who are coming from abroad, where they might not have the possibility with diplomas or the certification here in the country. So we don't have their requirements on diplomas. So as I said, we have short trainings, learning tracks, and a full curriculum. For the other big offer we do, which is the School 42 or École 42, which is a full curriculum. And I'm gonna, looking at my time, we have 7 topics or 7 subjects where we want to give an offer to this demand. For example, in coding, we have Python, we have JavaScript. So also for the manufacturing, Python is getting more and more important. And we have also in the cybersecurity an offer, again, in manufacturing. Digitalization is based on trust. For sure, in production, they are not going to put new software like this in the production facilities if there is not security, if there is not a stable system. So trust is a very important thing based on courses we give. And also just picking here design thinking, as Inès also said, is it's about the knowing your technical skills, but also about innovating and finding solutions in a creative way, as also the industry has a lot of different or cross-functional requirements. They have to work together. Also in the production and manufacturing, we see that a lot of engineers coming from different backgrounds have to learn to work together in an innovative way. These are just 7 offers. You can also find them in the catalog of the House of Training, and we have also our own website where you can find more than 100 offers of trainings. So I think I'm gonna end here. We have learning tracks, so the DevOps, web developers, JavaScript, user experience, digital design, blockchain, all in the cybersecurity. And last but not least, we are in at the campus here in Belval. We prefer to have in-person trainings because of the hands-on, because of the interactions as humans do, and have peer-to-peer learnings effects. So I thank you for your attention. If you have questions.
Hello. Thank you, Koi, for your presentation. So now, the questions will be at the end of the overall 4 presentations. So now we just went to the end of the presentation for the questions. Okay. Okay, thank you. And now I am going to present the trainings that are available at the University of Luxembourg Competence Center. So let me close this one, and then I will show you the here we go. Okay, and like I just mentioned, I am from the we are from the University of Luxembourg Competence Center. And if you would like to see the list of our trainings, you can just go to the www.competence.lu, or you can also go to the www.ulcc.lu. So both websites, we go to the our website. So basically for the ULCC, we have 4 different clusters. The first one is digitalization and ICT cluster. So the second one is the law and finance. The third one is formation or the trainings for the university, and the last one is for the health sector. So because this webinar is about the digitalization, in manufacturing and industry. So we're gonna focus on the trainings that are available in ICT. So right now we have 3 different trainings, that can be used or can be implemented in a manufacturing and industry, like I just mentioned. So we have the data science, we have the training for the supercomputer. So the training for the supercomputers will be divided into 2 different sessions. So the first one will be just, getting up and running the Miluxina supercomputing. And that one is, these 2 trainings are organized by the Lux Provide. But for the first one, data science, this one is organized by the professor at the University of Luxembourg. So let's get into the some of the information that you will see or you will learn, in the first one for the data science. So for the data science, this one is just not the data science. You can learn about the artificial intelligence and machine learning, but somehow this one is still be the introduction. So you can learn some of the examples and the concepts of the artificial intelligence, some basic examples of the data science and also the machine learning, just like the name of the title, of the training. And then you're going to see some of the applications, that can be used and get the benefits from the data. You're going to see some of the data-driven success stories, the power of the data, and what to do and not to do with the data. And also the course itself will be divided into two different modeling approaches. One is for the statistics and another one is for the machine learning. And at the end of the course, you're going to see some of the example for the visualizations, and how to interpret the result, from this visualization. So the next one is the course from the Lux Provide. So for the Lux Provide, they have the supercomputer called the Miloxina. So, for this course, you're going to have the chance to get hands-on experience, to connect to the supercomputer. So you're going to learn some of the basic concepts, using the Linux command lines and also writing some script, to get into the supercomputer. And also, not just the Linux command lines, we will also learn the basic computer architecture and also the Miluxina HPC system. You're going to learn about the module system and how to manage the software environment, in a supercomputer. And then at the end, you're going to learn about how to divide the jobs, how the job scheduling work, in a supercomputer. So at the end of this course, you're going to be able to connect and send the jobs, to the supercomputer, and then build the parallel and for the shared memory program and run on the Miluxina. And at the end, you're going to be able to transfer the data, to the Miluxina, and also how to transfer the data from the Miluxina. So this course will be half day, about like 4 hours, and this is the first part of the entire course, because somehow this is a part one. So for the part two, basically will be will be the next day. Normally we organize the first part on the first day, and then the second part on the just the following day. So the second part also will be half day, like 4 hours. And you're going to be able to, again, work on the supercomputer, Miluxina. And then for this one, you're going to be able to write the Python code in a Jupyter notebook. You're going to learn basic components, that are available on a Jupyter notebook. And then to get into the some data science project, that you can run on a supercomputer. So basically, the time is running out. So basically, I just not gonna get into the detail of the this course, but again, this course is provided by the Lux Provide. So it's a collaboration between between us and also the Lux Provide, and you're gonna have a chance to really get into the supercomputer Miluxina. Okay, it's the biggest supercomputer. It's the biggest computer, supercomputer in Luxembourg. So now we are going to end our presentation here and switch to the Q&A session. So if you have any question, you can just shoot it in the chat. So we can have like 2 or 3 minutes, 2 or 3 second pause, just to see if we have any message on a Q&A session or not. Okay, so far we don't see anything. Oh, someone is typing, so just wait a little bit, please. Okay, so now it will publish the question. So I think this one is the question for House of Training. So this question is for Christian and Frederick.
Yes, hello again. Thank you. It's very interesting. It's true that a lot of our catalog offers are in French, but like I said before, we customize the most of our trainings, and the demands of customized trainings in industry is between 60 and 70%, and most of them are in English. So yes, we offer everything also in English.
Okay.
On demand.
Thank you, Christian. And now we don't have any more questions. Maybe we can just wait for another second. Well, it seems like we don't have any more. So I'm just going to end the webinar now. So I would like to thank you for your attention, and also the the speakers, Inès from ADEM, Christine from the House of Training, Dominique from the House of Cybersecurity, Koi from the Digital Learning Hub, and Raquel, who is organizing the webinar, and myself. So thank you, and I hope you all have a nice weekend. So we see you again in the next webinar. Okay, thank you, bye-bye.